Hey everyone, welcome back inside TCO Studios in Eagan. We have a special guest joining us right now. It's new Vikings Chief Operating Officer, Andrew Miller, making his debut in the studio. Welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. It's been a whirlwind few days for you, I'm sure. You took in your first game at US Bank Stadium. You've walked around the practice facility here. What are your thoughts so far? I'm sure you have a lot of them.
It's absolutely incredible. The facilities here they're beyond state of the art. They are transformational, and every detail was absolutely well thought out. And seeing the game experience and seeing the fans and everything going on for even for a preseason game was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I want to get into your background in a little bit, but you mentioned something that I also wanted to talk about with you, because when you were addressing all the Viking staff at a meeting, you said it's not state of the art here. It's better than that. It's transformational. And then you went into fan experience and some of your experiences in professional sports related to that topic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate. I've worked on a number of different facilities over the years. The Goodyear Spring Training Facility for the Cleveland Indians, Progressive Field, Rogers Center, and then the Dunedin Spring Training Facilities in Florida for the Blue Jays. They're all unique situations and unique venues, but first and foremost, the goal is to understand who the user is, and from a football perspective, what are the equipment managers going to need, what are the trainers going to need, what are the coaches going to need, what are the players going to need to make them the most successful at their jobs. From a stadium perspective, it also includes what are the fans looking for in their experiences, and ultimately we're a fan-driven business, and we need to understand our fans, and we need to deliver the experiences that they're looking for that's going to make them want to spend their time with the Minnesota Vikings. And this is an incredibly passionate fan base. Yep. And for us to just understand what are the things that really drive their decisions and really make those experiences memorable for them.
I'm guessing that the experience that you just had at US Bank Stadium, taking in the Vikings Seahawks game, that being your first time in the building, and your passion for making the game a great fan experience, you probably sense there's a lot of good things going on there, and I bet you're excited to sort of get your hands on it and see how you can contribute.
Absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely exciting to join an organization that has such an incredible stadium, and the fan experience is already so unique to football. To try and understand where the opportunities are to even build on that and to enhance it, it is really an incredible opportunity.
Here you are helping lead a football team. That's not where your sports career sort of began, and not maybe what you envisioned. You were a baseball player and you worked in Major League Baseball for a couple of different clubs. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I ever really expected. I grew up a huge football fan, grew up in Southern California. It really was something that my family all did together, watching games, and really on the West Coast, rolling out of bed right to the pregame show and the 10 a.m. game was a part of my childhood. I went to college at Cal at Berkeley, and every Saturday, the feel of college football in the air, and I remained a very passionate Cal fan, long after I graduated until I moved out of California. And so football's always been a part of it. Trying to understand the differences between baseball and football is going to be a great learning experience for me, because they are very different sports and the experiences are very different.
Yeah. How do your experience on the business side of not just sports, but American business, but then you have great experience in sports. As one of the leaders in the organization, how do you marry those two avenues, I guess, of improving the club on the business side and also on the football side, and sort of merging those two?
Yeah, I mean, listen, my job's going to be, on the business side, but every person on the business side has an opportunity to impact our overall success. Our goal is to win Super Bowls, and to create a world-class fan experience, and to create a positive impact on the Minnesota community. Every single day, every person in the Vikings organization should be focused on those things. And by doing our jobs and by focusing on the most important things, we can impact the ability to win on the field. And that can be through supporting football operations and, Rick and Coach Zimmer and, everything that they're doing, providing them, the facilities and the environment that they need to be successful. But it can also be driving that fan experience and creating an environment where, fans are impacting the game as well.
Yeah. You got to get the skull chant down.
Yeah, I'm learning it.
You've been practicing that?
I am practicing it.
Yeah, Zim always says that's one way we can help the team, make that stadium louder with the skull chant, right?
You know what? It was incredible to see it live, and it's definitely something that I can understand why it resonates so well with Minnesota Vikings fans.
Quickly, I want to ask you about a couple of people that I think you've spent a lot of time with. And one is Kevin Warren, who's the outgoing COO of the Vikings, moving on to the Big Ten, someone who's had really a profound impact on this organization. What's it been like spending some time with Kevin, and how do you foresee that transition going with you guys together right now, both in the building?
I mean, Kevin's had a profound impact on me in just a very short period of time. He's an incredible human being and incredible business leader, and he has meant so much to the Wilf family and the Vikings organization, over the last 15 or so years. And he took it upon himself to want to make sure that the transition is as smooth and that I'm in position to be as successful as possible. And I don't know that there's a way to repay him for that, other than trying to be as successful as possible and to continue to carry on the legacy that he helped create. And so, I know that I have big shoes to fill, and I'm looking forward to that challenge.
And you'll be working very closely with the Wilf family to gauge all of that and to mark progress. What have you thought about the Wilf family?
Yeah, I mean, to a person that I've met in the Wilf family, it is a passion for making the Minnesota Vikings a successful franchise, winning Super Bowls, creating the fan experience, and very community minded. So there has not been, and you look around these facilities, there hasn't been a stone unturned, but there also hasn't been any resource that's been limited in terms of striving to achieve those goals. So I can't wait to continue to work with them.
Now, you've been in a boardroom or a meeting room with the Wilfs, throughout the process here of joining the Vikings, but then you spent a game day with the Wilfs.
Yeah.
Two different Wilfs right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wilfs on game day, they're pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they have a passion for this team and for winning, and it was great, to experience my first game in Minnesota with them, for certain portions of the game, and to understand what they're looking at and what's really driving their motivation and their passion, and they want to win and they want this team to be successful.
All right, well, we thank you for your time, for joining us. You're a busy man right now, but you carved some time out for us here in the studio. We appreciate it, and we'll see you down the road, all right?
Great, thank you very much.